I love Skyward Sword. In my opinion, it's one of the best Zelda games created of all time. And the bosses are great. They consist of more than just hitting the red eye on the most unprotected part of the boss you're fighting. And sure, they have a few cliches like the minions. And most of all, they can be downright difficult. So I've compiled a list of the top 5 trickiest bosses and the best tricks you need to know to defeat them. Number 5. Galactos. Though he's not the hardest boss in the game, I definitely had to play him a couple times before I could actually beat him. Now the main goal here is to stay as close to Galactos as possible, because otherwise he'll throw out his blades and they're very hard to dodge. Now what you want to do is get close and wait till he slams down his hand like that, and then you can take your whip and whip his arm off. Now you want to do this 2 times until he has the 2 crossing his chest. Once he only has the 2 crossing his chest, he'll slam them down like that, making it very easy to hit his weak spot. You only have to do this twice before he moves on to the next sequence. This is the next sequence. What you have to do is you have to wait till he hits you with 3 arms, take out one of his arms, and his sword will fall on the ground. You then have to take his sword and beat him with his own blade, which is pretty awesome. Eventually he'll start summoning these minions, which you can easily defeat by going right where he'll summon them and then doing a quick spin attack. This is where he hits with 3 arms. What you want to do is do 2 or 3 backflips so you're out of his range, take out your whip, and then take out 1 arm. The blade will then be on the ground, and you want to walk up to him. Now this is where most make their mistake. You just want to take out the legs. The arms are not necessary. Just take out the legs and then start beating his cage like you've never beaten anything before. Now I don't know if you saw that, but you can actually take out the giant columns with the sword, and if you're not on hero mode, they'll drop hearts, so that's good if you're getting intense in the battle. And that's all you need to know. It's that easy. You are now ready to take on Galactos. Number 4. Scowled Era. Now this boss isn't hard, it's actually kinda easy, but it's really tricky and it took me 2 tries before I could beat it. Here's the trick, you want to throw a bomb at him before he gets to the top. That's where people usually make their mistake. They wait till he steps on the bombs at the top, and it's really not efficient, and you can get the boss battle done a lot quicker if you just throw one at him while he's trying to climb up. Once you hit him, he's going to roll down the hill and try to suck in air to throw fireballs at you. What you want to do is throw a bomb, he'll eat the bomb, and then explode, and then giving you a chance to hit him in the eye. Number 3. The Imprisoned. Now the first time you fight him, he's not that hard. But Nintendo thought it was a good idea to make you fight him 4 times. And by the time the 4th time you're fighting him, you better be prepared to run, and run, and run. Now, at first the concept for the Imprisoned seems kind of tedious, doesn't it? I mean, having to stun him with the Grusinator, and then having to walk up and break all 8 of his toes, waiting for him to fall over, and then having to do that 3 times? Well, here's a trick. Now, Nintendo sneaked in a little secret. Instead of banging all 8 of his toes, that's tedious. Just jump on top of his head. From there, you have easy access to the totem you have to smash into his head. That takes 3 minutes off the boss fight right there. Now just do this 3 times and you're good to go. Number 2. Ghirahim. Now I have to admit, this boss is hard. I have no idea how I beat it on my first try. As Ghirahim goes Super Saiyan, you have to beat him as hard as you can until he falls off the edge 3 times. By the second time you start whacking at him, his hands turn purple and you have to strategically swing your sword in between his hands so you can hit him off the edge. After you do this 3 times, Ghirahim pulls out his silly little sword. What you have to do here is utilize your shield and swing a nunchuck at the precise time he swings his sword. When you do this, it knocks him back and gives you a chance to jab at his chest. At this point, just keep your shield up and you'll be fine. Now you can instantly get through this phase by playing ping pong with Ghirahim with his Skyward strike until it hits him, and then he'll be stunned long enough for you to hit his chest enough to get through this phase. And the trickiest boss in Skyward Sword goes to Demise. Let's be rational, guys. You saw this one coming. The fact that he's the final boss in the game, his unpredictableness, and his 3 heart attack, this has to be the hardest boss in Skyward Sword. I'll be honest, it took me about 8 tries to beat this guy, and I about threw my controller out the window. So let's go over the tricks you need to know to get this guy on your first try. On the first phase of this boss, you have to use your shield. When he punches you with your fist, just swing your nunchuck, and then he'll be stunned long enough for you to do a quick spin attack, and 9 out of 10 times he'll be stunned, and you can just unleash your wrath on him. Now, after you do this about 5 or 6 times, he'll go into his second phase, which is brutal. Now, what you want to do here is stay as far away from him as possible. This limits him to only 2 attacks, Charge and Lightning Strike. Now, when he does his Lightning Strike, you want to side hop, and whenever he charges at you, you want to do a backflip, okay? Because if you don't, you're going to be losing 2 to 3 hearts of damage. Now, if you stick your sword in the air, it'll become supercharged and you can stun him with lightning. Once you hit him, sometimes he'll get stunned like that and Link will attempt to do the final blow. You can never do this on the first try, so you might as well just not do it. But on the second try, you'll succeed. This has been 43 Eyes with the top 5 trickiest bosses and what you need to know to beat them. Peace out.